Alright folks, Mark Pilipchuk, United States of America, and I'm here on Sunday, April 4th with my iPad review. So happy Easter to everybody, and as a lot of you did the other day, you probably went out and got your shiny new iPad. And this is mine right here. Let's take a quick look at the form factor. As you can see probably from a lot of other videos, that it has got a really unibody kind of look and feel. You can see the sculpted edges just like on the current MacBooks and MacBook Pros. This is the bottom of the thing, and here's the speaker, the 30-pin connector. On the other side you can see the switch that holds it in either vertical or horizontal orientation, and the rocker switch. And on top, the power switch and the headphone jack, and no switches on this side. So a very clean, nice looking piece of metal overall. It's got a little bit of a curve in the back as well. It's really easy to hold in the hand, and I find it very comfortable to hold in either vertical or horizontal orientation. It's about 1.5 pounds, and it's very comfortable. I tested it all day yesterday, sitting here on the deck as well as in bed and doing some reading, and it seemed to work pretty well. So it's got great sound for just one speaker. It sounds really good, even though it's mono. It's not bad. So I was listening to some iTunes and surfing the web, and it sounded great, I thought. The machine is a bit of a fingerprint magnet. It's probably hard to see here in the sun, but it does collect the fingerprints very easily. The coating, though, makes it easy to remove the fingerprints if you need to. So there's how Facebook looks on it, and it looks exactly as it does in Safari on your Mac. It's surprisingly intuitive to reach out with your hands and grab a website and make it bigger or smaller, or go from one website to another. I wish that Safari had an option on it to have a tab bar so you could see all of the tabs you have open at once. Instead you have to go to this little icon up in the upper left hand corner. It works okay, but I think a tab bar would be a little bit better. As far as key applications you're going to use on this, email is going to be one of them. And email works really well. The added screen space available on this as opposed to an iPhone makes it a lot easier to handle. A couple little flaws I found already in mail, for example. It can't handle all the large file sizes you might have. I tried to send myself a 22 megabyte Keynote file, and it says it's too large to download. I was able to download some 10 megabyte files, but 22 was just a little bit too big. I don't know where the limit is, but if you're sending around a lot of big files, just as a warning, you might not be able to get them onto the machine. As far as the battery life story, the battery life is great on these things. I surfed all day yesterday on the deck, and I was playing music and building some Keynote files, and it lasted all day, all night. By the time I went to bed, I still had about 30% of my power left, so I can believe the 10-hour time. There are a couple downsides to this. The first is the glass. It's very reflective, so if you're out here in the sun like I am today, it's a little bit hard to read. It's a very bright display, and the shiny reflection makes it more likely you're going to see yourself as opposed to what's on the screen. Inside, under normal light, it works great. But that reflectiveness means that you're probably not going to be using it on the beach this summer to read books. It's also not for content creation. The lack of the keyboard makes it a little bit harder to input more than short or medium kind of emails into it. A cut and paste works okay, but to me it's still a lot easier to use with a mouse. The other thing that's a downside to it is a little slippery because it's this shiny metal, so you're really going to need a case for this. So the final piece of the review is, how am I going to use this? So what this is going to do is, it'll obviously be really handy if I'm just sitting in bed watching TV and want to look up something on the internet or Wikipedia. I'll use it quite a bit that way, and it's very, very handy. I'll use it to read books. I'll also use it for travel purposes. So instead of traveling with my MacBook Pro and carrying around a 5 or 6 pound computer along with power chargers and so forth, I'll replace it instead with this, carry this around for 1.5 pounds in a small power charger, and then I'll also carry on my iPhone, and the iPhone will be used for cases where I need connectivity. So overall, very, very happy with the iPad. If you get a chance, stop by an Apple Store or Best Buy, take a look at it. So that's Mark Pilipchuk signing off with my review of the iPad. Have a great day and have a happy Easter.